Hi, beloved. This is Adumping at commentary position. My name is Ivan Satwi, and today commentary is on the Nigerian elections. If you are not aware, the Nigerian elections ended peacefully. We cannot say everything was smooth, but we are happy people didn't really lose lives, and the INEC has declared a winner. And the winner is none other than the former Lagos State Governor, Bola Tinubu, who is part and parcel of the current government led by former General Muhammadu Buhari. And we know that most Nigerian youth were rooting for their favorite Peter Obi, who is youthful, is an honest politician, speaks well and has good plans. But good plans alone and being morally upright are not enough to win elections in Africa. You've got to be grounded. And at the end of the day, there are other factors that also come into play. People will vote based on ethnicity and other factors, whether they belong to party A or B. And if you are more or less a candidate who is coming in fresh and you are not aligned to any of the big parties, it's going to be difficult for you to be able to win an election first time. So I was monitoring the elections. We do know that there were pockets of violence. People in Lagos State, some parts where people stormed and destroyed ballot boxes.
They damaged the ballot box. This one are for president. Now see, my people. See, I'm already do what for. Already do what for. Already do what for. Madam, what happened?
We there here, we can't vote. Before we know, Obaseki carry him out to come. As he come, other people have scatter everything. Now Obaseki na do one.
Who the Obaseki as?
Na
everywhere. Election was peaceful.
It was fair.
Madam, were you here?
I was in my own unit.
What happened?
Voting.
Yes.
The governor came in. It was not up to 10 minutes.
Don't be saying governor. Did you see him?
Yeah, we saw his convoy. Everybody is not blind.
We can also talk about somewhere in Abeokuta or somewhere where and similar incidents happened. In other places, the election started late, and so that affected the turnout. And of course, we also know that even before the elections came, there were threats from the Biafra movement who threatened to meet that violence anybody who tried to campaign or to go and vote. And we saw the viral video of a DJ who fell victim to one of such attacks on a campaign platform, and they were grilling as to why he accepted to ply his trade at a rally. That's quite unfortunate. But during the election itself, beyond the pockets of violence that I'm talking about, there were some positives as well, because there were so many police stations where voting was peaceful, people exercised their franchise without harassment, counting was done, and with one of them I could hear the public counting with the electoral officials. That those are positives you can look at. And usually people try to sensationalize issues and to paint the picture as if Nigeria is on fire, but that is not the reality. The reality is that there were pockets of violence, and there were also areas where voting went peacefully. The other issue that was of concern to many was the system for collating the results. The INEC, which is the Nigerian Electoral Commission, earlier on told people that the system was like that collation was going to be done from the polling stations. Now it turned out that in some areas that was not possible, and so it's like they had to use their system to manually collate results, and that gave room for suspicion about the possibility of some unseen hands influencing the elections, just so that Tinubu could win. But let's not take anything away from the old fox Tinubu. This is a man who has been governor for Lagos State, and people, his works are still visible there in terms of what he has achieved. So he's quite a popular man, even though I'm told he lost there, right? But then the question is, my challenge now is whether Tinubu has the energy to, and then the vision and the strength to be able to deliver the kind of leadership Nigeria needs in this critical moment. I think that they need a decisive leader who will not countenance corruption, who will not countenance malfeasance, who will not countenance incompetence, and who will select the best material that can implement policies and programs that can develop Nigeria and bring it back to where it belongs as a giant of African politics. So I'm raising this concern because of our own case in Ghana, where we now have an albatross around our neck. We voted for an old man we thought could come with innovative ideas, could root out corruption. He had all the tanks of incorruptibility around him. This is a man who led demonstrations upon demonstrations against injustices meted out to citizens. Before even Nanado used to go to court to defend ordinary people without taking money. And so people had that trust in his ability to govern without fear or favor. But lo and behold, when he came in, it is clear that his government is on autopilot. He's literally packed the bus with so many leeches who are feeding on the public purse, but we are not getting the kind of governance and productivity we yearn for. For instance, how can a country with just 30 million people have over 100 ministers and deputies? It doesn't make sense. And then there have been calls for Nanado to cut down the size of his government. He's turning a deaf ear to it. He doesn't care a hoot about people. Even his own MPs have been agitating for him to ask his cousin finance minister, who has proven overly incompetent in terms of managing the public purse. And his only solution is borrowing to finance consumption. And that has led us into insurmountable debt, to the extent that we are now going knees down begging the IMF and even Germany to talk to China for debt forgiveness. And so you look at all this and you are beginning to wonder whether what Mo Ibrahim said about old men governing Africa is actually a prophecy, because he clearly said that anybody who is past the age of 75 has no business wanting to be a leader, because they bring nothing to the table new. And especially if they stay in opposition for a long time, And I know Nanado's problem is the fact that he went 3 times before winning, and so he had so many people donating to his campaign who deserve to be compensated in one way or the other, and as such, he's tied down. He needs to meet all these expectations to the extent that he cannot sack people even when they are misbehaving. You see? So what kind of governance is Tinubu bringing to the table? Tinubu, when he was campaigning for Buhari, made certain promises that he's rehashing today about the fact that he could extend free tertiary education to private universities, scholarship private university students, and he also mentioned about giving resources and funding to lecturers so that the era of producing handouts for students will end, so people can begin to write books. All those things were on the table 8 years ago, and he clearly was the vice president or something of under Muhammadu Buhari, and those things were never met. So how confident are we that the rhetoric that Tinubu has been busy trumpeting on the campaign platforms and even during his assembly speech will come to materialize? If I am him, I would give everything to change the narrative. He has nothing to lose. At this age of 82 or something, all you need to do is you want to leave a legacy so that people will remember you. So if I were him, if his advisors are listening, he should throw in everything to change Nigeria for good, the fortunes of Nigeria for good, which means he's going to make sure he's selecting the best human resource materials to be ministers of state. He's going to judicially use the resources of the country to develop the country, and he's going to manage the public purse in such a way that corruption, plundering, and stealing of the public purse will be a thing of the past. That has been one of Nigeria's worst problems. People plundering and stealing and hiding away the Nigerian mineral resources, money from that, from the oil and other resources in the West, and going to enjoy with their families. Meanwhile, there are pressing issues that need to be addressed in the country. And if Tinubu wants to leave a mark, one of the areas I think he can tackle and leave a mark is the Nigeria's power sector. For a country as big as Nigeria, it is unacceptable that they have power cuts all the time, to the extent that people have to buy generators and try to buy fuel to power them all the time. That there should be something to invest money into creating, if not tapping into solar, they could look at going down one of the rivers and having a dam where that can supply them power. Nigeria produces enormous amount of gas that can power a power production plant like the Atuabo gas plant in Ghana. He should look at investing heavily in the energy sector so that Nigerians can at least enjoy stable power supply. If that happens, the economy will pick up, businesses would once again blossom, and the youth, the jobless youth, will get jobs too. So Tinubu has his job cut out. But is he going to deliver? Who is he coming to sleep like our own Anado? Or he's coming to work? And listening to him, he looks very tired for me. And unless he proves me wrong, I'm not sure he's got a lot to offer. And to disappointed Nigerian youth, I want to play with you It is difficult to change the African political terrain in one term. We have to keep pushing. But change is coming, because if Peter Obi managed to clock over 6 million votes, that's a positive sign. And you know what? The overall appeal of the old men is beginning to reduce. Buhari won 24 states before he became elected. Tinubu barely won 12. That's a positive sign we can look forward to. Don't be discouraged. Continue to pray for Nigeria. Believe in Nigeria. Let's pray for the winner and hope that he delivers the kind of leadership we expect. Until then, bye-bye. This is Ivan Satik. You can kindly follow me by clicking the follow button, so when I come live or I make a video, you can see. I'm also on YouTube. You can check out for Ivan Satik TV. Usually I don't do politics. Mostly what I do is cultural stuff. I'm trying to promote African indigenous culture, starting with my own Bulsa culture and looking at northern Ghana and other places that are not in limelight. So if you go to my page, you're not going to see a lot of these videos. I'm just using this opportunity to talk to Nigerians about their elections. So until then, bye-bye. If you have comments, leave them down below, and then we can converse. Thank you.